Hi, good morning friends. So today we are going to start a sixth chapter in Unit 3, that is regarding economies of scale and long run average cost curve. So here, economies of scale and long run average cost. The long run is the period of time when all the costs are variable. Actually, in last units we are discussing about the short run cost. In the short run means we can say that at least one factors of production we assume to be constant in the short run. But in the case of long run, all the factors of production are variable. So the long run depends on the specific of the firm in question. It is not a precious period of time. So we can able to say that this long run is there is no definite period for the long run. It is depends upon the firm. When a firm can able to change their entire factors of production, how many times it requires, that particular time is the long run time period for that particular firm. So we cannot say that 1 year is the long run or 5 years is the long run. For example, for firm X, 1 year may be the long run, but for firm Y, it will be 2 years, maybe 5 years even. So like that. So we cannot say a definite period, which period is a long run and which period is a short run. So when it comes to the economies of scale, refers the situation where the quantity of output goes up, the cost per unit goes down. That is called economies of scale. Simply, we can say that when the quantity increases, output will when the quantity increases, output per unit cost per will fall down. Or example, we can able to say that cost per unit will goes down. That is called average cost is reducing. For example, I am taking a one company. In that particular company, output I am calculating as a million. So you can able to see in this particular table. In this particular table, we can able to say that company X output is 10 million. That time the cost of that particular company is 10 million, and average cost means what? Total cost divided by number of quantities. Okay, for example, number of units produced. For example, 10 million divided by 10 million. That means their average cost is 1. When their output is increased to 40 million, from 10 million to 40 million output increases, what will happen to the cost? Total cost increase from 10 million to 20 million. That means average cost of the firm is reduced from 1 million to 0.5 million. That means their average cost curve is average cost curve is falling from 1 to 0.5. We can able to say previously it was $1 and now it was a 1 unit. In order to produce one particular unit, that particular firm need how much cost? Only 0.5. That means that their average cost is falling. So when it comes here, economies of scale, you can see it here in this particular figure. A small factory like S produces 1000 alarm clocks at an average cost of 12 per unit. So you can able to see that at firm S, we can able to say firm's name here. At firm S, they are producing how much? 1000 alarm clock. So when they are producing 1000, what is their average cost per unit? They need at least $12. Okay, when it comes to the firm M, it produces 2000 alarm clocks. When the quantity increases to 2000, their average cost is how much? Only 8. That means that when they increase the quantity from 1000 to 2000, the average cost of production is reduced from 12,000 to 8,000. Like that, if the firm factory like L produces 5000 alarm clocks at the cost of $4 per clock, for example, you can say that here 5000 quantity of alarm clock we are producing by firm L. Their average cost is how much? 4. You compare this 1000 and 5000, firm S and firm L. Firm S cost of production is how much? 12. Average cost is 12. But firm L average cost is how much? Only 4. So economies of scale exist because the large scale of production leads to a lower average cost. For example, one individual person, for example, one sole trader business cost and one multinational company's business cost. Which firm will have a lowest cost? Of course, the multinational company will have a lowest cost. Why? Because of the quantity they produce is very large, so that they will use a more number of machineries, techniques, and equipments and everything. So that's why their average cost is falling. This will be considered as an economies of scale. Okay, then When it comes here, the shape of long run average cost curve. Now we are coming from the long run. I told you in the first slide what is the difference between the short run and long run. Short run means we are assuming that some factors are fixed, at least labor or capital. Any one factor we will be assumed to be a fixed, and the long run all the factors are variable. So while in the short run firms are limited to operating at a single average cost curve, of course in the short run that particular firm will have only one average cost curve because the corresponding to the level of fixed cost they have chosen. In the short run they have a fixed cost is limited, isn't it? Yeah, 1000 is fixed cost. That means that that particular 1000 only they are having a fixed cost. But when it comes to the long run, fixed cost also will change. So that time what will happen, the in the long run when all the costs are variable, they can choose to operate in any average cost curve. So there will be a more number of average cost curve. Any average cost curve that particular firm can able to select and operate. For example, thus the long run average cost curve is usually based on group of short run average cost curve of which represent one specific level of fixed cost. Each short-term average cost represent a particular level of fixed cost. More precisely, we can say that the long-run average cost curve will be the least expensive average cost curve for many level of output. For example, I am showing a long-run average cost curve. You can see in the figure shows how the long-run average cost curve is built from a group of short-run average cost curve. Five short-run average cost curves are appear on the diagram. Each short-run average cost curve represents the different level of fixed cost. For example, you can imagine that SRAC1, short-run average cost curve 1, as a small factory. You can able to say this is a small factory. Their average cost, fixed cost is very high. So that's why we can able to say this is the short-run average cost curve of that small factory. Then a medium factory, their output level is Q2. Their fixed cost will be a little bit less. Why? Because their average cost curve is very low. Now that's why their average cost curve is a little bit fall down. When it comes to the short-run average cost curve 3, it is a little bit large curve, large form. We can able to say that a medium, or we can able to say that a large factory, their output level is Q3. When it comes to the short-run average cost curve 4 and 5, you can say they are the very large or ultra large firms. And you can see that their average cost curve, this is the first form, second form, third form, fourth form, fifth form, like that. In all these short-run average cost curves, minimum efficient, we can able to say the lowest point, that is called what? Productive efficiency point, isn't it? Productive efficiency means what? The lowest point of average cost curve. Or we can say AC is equal to MC, that particular point. That is the lowest point of average cost curve. So that particular point only we are connecting it, these five forms connecting it. Then we can able to say that, yeah, this blue color line I made now, that is the long run average cost curve. You can see it here. This curve shows that the lowest point of short run average cost curve. So we can able to say that here fixed cost is very high, here fixed cost is low, like that. When each firm will have a fixed cost is different, that's why there is a short run cost curve is different. Okay, then when it comes to economies of scale, when we are discussing about the economies of scale, you have to be understand about returns to scale. In the short run, we already knows that when you are employing one more additional labor, what will happen? Output can be doubled, more than double. First we can able to say output will increase more than double. That is called what? Increasing returns to scale. Then output will just double. We can able to say that, yeah, output is just input is doubled. What will happen to the output only I am discussing. When input is doubled, what will happen? For example, 10 to 20, output may increase more than 20. Okay, that is called increasing returns to scale. That time what will happen? Their average cost will fall. That is I shown in the first in this first slide in that particular table. Like that, in after particular time, when you double the input, what will happen? Output will also be doubled. It is just a double. It is not a more than double. It is just doubled. That time we can able to say that it is a constant return. Then if output is double, the input is double but output is increased less than double, then we can able to say what? It is a diminishing returns to scale. So based on that, when it comes to the long run average cost curve, the long run average cost curve is U-shaped because of the long run average cost curve behavior. For example, first they will fall over the output range OA, showing the economies of scale. Economies of scale means that from this OA output, what will happen? Their average cost curve is falling. Whenever your input increases, we can able to say increasing returns to scale. Okay, this portion, what will happen? Fall in the long run average cost curve. That portion will be considered as economies of scale. Then, when after particular time, what will happen? That particular average cost curve is constant. That means that when you double the input, output will also become double. So we can able to say that is a constant returns to scale. But after the point quantity OB, we can able to see that long run average cost curve starts increasing. That will be considered as diseconomies of scale. For example, comes here, then they are constant over the output range AB. In the long run average cost behavior only we are discussing. Initial stage, what happened? Long run average cost curve is falling. That will be considered as what? Economies of scale. That time the particular business can able to gain more profit. The profit level will increase. But when it comes to the output level A to B, average cost curve is constant. That means their profit level will be constant. But if they're producing above B, what will happen? Their profit will start decreasing. That's why we are saying that it is diseconomies of scale. So minimum efficiency scale. What do you mean by minimum efficiency scale? Minimum efficiency scale means the lowest point of long run average cost curve. We can able to say that the average long run average cost curve is lowest at point level of OA output, isn't it? So OA output will be considered as the minimum efficiency point, and optimum level of output a firm can able to produce from A to, this is the optimum level of output. At point B only the firm will stop production. The firm will not produce above this one. So over the output AB, the minimal cost level of the production, it's said to be the optimum level of production. We can able to say that this is the optimum level of production. This is the optimum level of production. Why? Because until this point they will get a particular amount of profit. Why? Because average cost is minimum. If they are increasing the production, their profit is not increasing, they are additionally producing only, so that is not needed. So most of the firm will be stop producing at the point A. Why? Because at this particular point, what will happen? Average cost is lowest. If you increase the production, average cost curve is constant after a particular period. Sometimes it may increase even, but no need, because our profit is not increasing. Profit is constant. If I am producing 1000 unit, I am getting 1 million profit. If I am producing 5000 unit, even I am getting 1 million profit only. Then why should I need to produce 5 million? It is better to produce 1 million only. Understood? The same thing. So the particular producer will not produce after the point OA. That's what I am calling that O. We can able to say that all O to B, that is a maximum or a optimum level. Most of the firm will be stop producing at OA because that is a minimum maximum profit they are receiving. But if you are producing OB, until OB there is no loss. But after OB, what happened? There is a loss. So the firm will not produce that particular thing. So over the output range A to B, the optimum cost level of production. Optimum cost level of production is what? A to B. The firm said to be its optimum level of production at the point A to B, and the minimum efficiency scale is at point A. That is the lowest point of average cost curve. When it is a constant returns to scale, that is called what? A to B, that is a constant returns to scale. That is what sometimes the firm will be want to be get a market power or market share. They will produce this particular range until OB level of output. That's what we are saying, that over the output range AB, the minimum cost level of the production, the firm said to be at its optimum level, okay, of production. We can able to say that this is the optimum level. Maximum they will produce until this particular level. After that, they will not produce. Okay. So based on this, you have an activity 1 in page number 3 in your textbook. Okay. I will make sure that activity 1 in page number 14 on your textbook. Okay. Thank you.